All right, folks, welcome to a weekly market outlook on DXY and EURUSD. This video is about anticipating, right? So I'm going to anticipate where the higher time drawn liquidity is, what could potentially happen in the next couple of days. So it's an outlook. Now, looking into the next week, we have Monday, no news. Tuesday, we have a 10 a.m. news. Jolt, jolt, jolt job openings, right? Wednesday, we have 8 a.m., 8:15, and at 10 a.m. Thursday, we have at 8:30 and 9:50 p.m. Doesn't matter. No, doesn't matter at all. Friday, we have a 8:30 a.m., 9:20 a.m., and at 10 a.m. Now, Friday, we also have average your earnings. So before Thursday, around Thursday, I'm gonna take a trade because you don't want to get your account suspended. Prop firms are kind of asshole right now, right? I'm only gonna take trades on if I don't get a setup, right? I think Monday should be a good setup day. Monday I should definitely be a setup. I mean, I don't know if it will give me if it respects my model, right? If it respects my system, I'll definitely take it. If not, cool. But on Thursday, if it doesn't give me any setup all the way till Thursday, I'll just place a 0.001 loss size across all my accounts. Excluding the personal accounts, just to avoid that, termination. Now, this is how the weekly news looking like for the next upcoming week. It's pretty good. I love this. I love NP weeks. I love CPI weeks. I love PPI weeks. I love FOMC weeks. They just make the market move and it's not sloppy. I hate weeks where it's so sloppy where there's no news. Now, a lot of people would probably think like, okay, there's a news on this week. I'm not gonna be trading Friday. You should definitely be trading, right? News is just gonna go to the drawn liquidity. Sometimes you probably like, well, that's wrong. Because sometimes I see the news making a big wick to the downside and goes to the upside, or making a big wick to the upside and go downside. So basically manipulating. Well, if the manipulation didn't happen before the news, he could do that. If the manipulation didn't happen, if manipulation did happen, and they give you a clear manipulation with a CISD or SCSD, change of state of delivery, confirming that market shouldn't be going any lower, then you can anticipate it to not make a big way to the downside or to the upside and just continue, right? Now, that's all, right? That's all. That is all. So you gotta know about news. That's how news trading works. You can make a big wick if the manipulation didn't happen, if the pre-manipulation didn't happen, then you can make a big wick. If the pre-manipulation already happened, then it will usually not make a big wick. Also, keep in mind, total soup always comes first. So if he give you some sort of a CISD, but it's not the right time, or he didn't do any purging, that shit will fail. So he'll do a big wick, right? Keep that in mind also. Now, that's enough of that. Now, let's get straight into the charts. This week will be a wonderful week, possibly. Right, we have 2 days until the closing price, which we don't really give a shit about anymore because we have 2 days on the 2 days on the quarterly candle also. So the quarterly candle, as you could see, is a classical candle. It's no longer a hammer. Now this is defined as a classical special candle, so we could definitely see higher prices closing in a classical special candle. Then from there on forward, closing however you want to close. But we have 2 days until this quarter candle ends. But the first quarter manipulated, second quarter expanded, third quarter also expanded, but did a huge retracement. Now, what we could do the next quarter, our CRT is primarily still this specific 3-month candle, but it's a manipulation. But we're looking for either SMT with this quarterly candle low or a super bit. That means you're looking for higher prices from there on forward on the dollar, because dollar is supposed to go up higher here. Right, the next 3-month candle is the next quarter of the year, which is very important for reversals. So it's going to be a very important month. The next quarter is gonna be very important because a lot of usually the quarter fours, week fours, Thursday, Friday will usually mess up a lot of traders. People usually say it's a sloppy, right? Very sloppy. It needs to close in a fair price. People don't have to trade them, so it'll be very interesting. And yeah, hope for the best. But on the monthly time frame, with the same thing here. Now on the monthly time frame, we have a hammer candle, so that means you could definitely close up higher on a hammer type of a candle, so you can go up higher and close. So there's no problem on that. And a monthly time frame, we have already met our target for the specific month. So next week, anticipate different biases, right? But in the short term, I'm still gonna have relatively the same type of bias after the target gets met, right? After we analyze after the target gets met, which I will definitely upload a video on that. So on the monthly time frame, our target got met for the specific month. So we're just looking for this high to get soup and go down lower. As you guys know, the next quarter, first month of the quarter will need to do what? It will need to range. So you need to create a range, right? So you can, the next monthly candle, if this monthly candle goes down here, right? You can't just, expand, make a big range. He needs to do some sort of, he needs to gather liquidity before doing so, right? So he needs to go up higher, purge it out, make a big range, right? Eventually go down all the way down here, purge out this again, make a big amount of range just like this, and eventually trade on from there on forward with the AMD. The same thing as here, right? This was the start of the third quarter. Second quarter, last candle was used as a reversal for a month, and eventually it was used as a range because you need to purge out this liquidity, take a lot of liquidity, and eventually from there on forward, create a big range, then go down, right? Just how it was. So we're looking for the same thing here. Now on the monthly time frame, we're looking for the target soup because this is our monthly CRT high. Eventually looking to go down to the monthly CRT low from there on forward. But I cannot analyze it yet until the target gets met, right? Because in the weekly time frame, it's telling us a different story than the monthly time frame. Because some of the time we can see that it get purged, then I don't know where the market would go because I would need to reanalyze. That's why I said I will make another video if the target gets met this specific week during Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. Whatever day gets met, I will definitely make a video on it and give you guys an update on that. Now on the weekly time frame, our weekly CRT, if you pay attention, you already got met. Since we're not an expansion candle, we cannot target beyond this weekly CRT. We need to target something. We just need to target this high, right? We cannot target beyond it because we're not a monthly expansion candle. So our CRT is primarily this. This is no longer a CRT because it never got broken through it. I'm talking about this candle. Wait, look on this candle right over here. This is no longer a CRT because it got broken through it multiple times. So it's no longer a CRT. You could also count this as a CRT also if you would like, or you could count this as a CRT also. There's multiple things to be called or considered a CRT here, but the best one would be this. But will it get tapped though? Will it actually meet this target to this high? Probably not, right? Because I still want to see it get respected, but it will highly likely not get respected, right? He has been rejecting it for the past 1 week, 2 week, 3 week, 4 weeks. So I don't know if it will get respected, but I don't know if the target will get met also. So we have to see. But my primary goal is to target here. Why? Because we're not an expansion candle, so we can't anticipate it to go over here yet until we have a further sign, right? But from now, my target is primarily this weekly CRT high. Now on a daily time frame, what do we have here? Oh, weekly time frame once again, but they analyze a little bit more. What else we have here? Because that's all we got. We have 2 days of monthly candle close, so we have our focus, keep in mind, this is not our focus at the moment, right? Because it's the same thing as this big candle. I'll keep you focused on this specific candle right here. So we had accumulation, manipulation, but the time wasn't right. So we had another manipulation. Eventually we had a big expansion candle. So we can anticipate another expansion candle to the upside, beating our target goal, right? Let's open up the weekly opening price and the closing price. Now let's go down to a lower time frame to anticipate. Now since this is our target, we do want this to get tapped. So on the dollar, it's very close, right? It's very close to the target, so we'll definitely possibly get it met. Looking back in a higher time for a little bit more, I want to see. Okay, this is also our CRT. Also, keep that in mind. Right. Although my target is primarily going to be this high, as I said, we're not an expansion candle, so it's not beyond this CRT high target. It's not guaranteed to get met. So that's why I'm waiting for a specific month to target beyond it. Yes, you may be like, oh well, they're so close, they make it soup. You never know. There could be SMT preventing it, right? So we have actually 3 CRT here to the upside, a lot of rejection below all lows, but these targets already got met. But for this specific one of CRT, for now is this. Also keep in mind on this. And this one right over here got broken through, so it's no longer a CRT. Our CRT is primarily these 2 candles. So we could definitely anticipate it to get suit, but we would have to wait what the market tells us. But when the target is met, and if I see another setup, I'm gonna target to this high, and etc., until the market constantly tells me signs that he wants to go up higher. Now on the daily time frame, we have a daily CRT to the upside. Right, we have a daily CRT to the upside, also a key level, right? Beautiful. And we also have what here? We have accumulation range. Okay, this is a bearish candle right over here. That was our manipulation, but they already get tapped. He already got tapped, unfortunately, right? So this candle is meant to get tapped, but since this is looking like, how range needs to get tapped to our range of this candle, right? So I'll show you guys a quick example on what I mean, because there's not a beautiful example I can show you guys. So what I mean is, like, if you were to short this CRT to the downside, you would not relatively get respected until the market taps this, right? So if you go to lower time, try to short down this daily CRT without waiting for this daily CRT, you would get wrecked, right? This daily, like, basically retested the range, right? So this is our daily order block. But this daily order block is not going to get retested because it can or it won't, because it's high chance if it won't, because the range already got retested, right? So as you guys know, a daily order block that either pairs a CRT or a pairs high or low in a daily range or whatever, right? A valid high and valid low. Then that if it's below a daily CRT, we can only trade once it gets tapped. But in this case, the daily CRT, a daily order block already got tested. Probably not like, well, daily order block is actually this candle, not this candle. Now keep in attention. There's 2 bearish candles, so our CRT is relatively, our range is relatively this, right? Our range is relatively these 2 bearish candles, right? So they're consecutive candles can be on order block, right? Because these 2 consecutive candles is where the market accumulated. Eventually, those candles will get retested and go up higher from there on forward. Now that's why. Now, is there any daily range here? There is no daily range. We did not super low, so there's no daily range yet. But on a daily time frame, I'm not looking for this daily order block to get tapped. I'm just looking for a reaction out of the daily fair value gap and go to the upside, do some sort of a kiss of death, right? You almost tapped a high, but it did some sort of a rejection from it. So we can anticipate a kiss of death total soup. Now, I'll say one more time, we are not looking for this range to get retested because the range already got tested. Usually, the time we're looking for this range to get tested is when it didn't get filled, right? In this case, it already got filled because the daily order block, it already got retested. So we're not looking for the daily order block to get tapped. My opponent like, well, this is our CRT, this is one that pairs it, right? So you're wrong. No, keep in mind, there's 2 bearish candles, right? So they're consecutive candles can be an order block. Now, that's all we got in the daily time frame. Daily fair value gap with a daily CRT. Our primary goal is this weekly CRT high. We also have another weekly CRT high here, also another one. But our primary goal at the moment is going to be here because we're not in an expansion candle. And why are we primarily targeting these highs is because monthly time frame, right? The monthly time frame, the next monthly candle needs to come up purchase out of safety high, and create a range, right? So if you need to get to range, you need to first take out some sort of liquidity, create a big range for the market to trade for, right? So this next monthly candle can open up, support the high, make a big amount of range, right? Eventually goes close, even down lower, create a big range for this next quarter. Eventually, the second month of the quarter, purchase it out. The third month of the quarter expands. Eventually, from there on forward, we're just going to see expansion type of candles, right? So that's why I'm looking for how to get soup, because this is going to be a monthly CRT, right? So that's why we're looking for how to get souped. Now, on the weekly time frame, we already talked about it. Daily time frame, we just talked about it right now. For our time frame, we're not going to talk about it because it doesn't matter. Only daily levels and above. Lower time is relatively easy. Wait for a 4-hour CRT, looking at 15-minute time frame, looking for entry model, and execute, right? Or the hourly time frame, depending if it's a New York situation, right? Or a New York Russell. Now, let's get into our correlated asset, which is DXY, which is EURUSD. As you guys know, we always analyze DXY more than EURUSD because DXY is more important than EURUSD. Same thing here. We have 2 days and 6 hours instead of 2 days and 8 hours, right? So we also have here is we're looking to close in some sort of a classical expansion candle, because a hammer candle would relatively need to close around, above the opening price, not the below it, right? Because also something close like this is not always going to be perfect, because the price spec is not always going to be perfect, right? So because it meant if it was perfect, people will catch on and people will make money, right? And it wouldn't be tradable. So it's looking like to me some sort of a classic expansion candle. You have 2 days and 2 days to the left. On a monthly time frame, as I said before, says the next quarter is going to be a bearish quarter because a higher time frame on a 12-month time frame is telling us, bulls on DXY and bearish on EU. We're looking for that reversal. So looking for that fourth quarter to be reversal. As you guys know, quarter 4 reversal, week 4 reversal, Thursday, Friday reversals, right? So that's why we're looking for the Pacific quarter to do the move. But for now, we're not there yet. So we're looking for the market to go up to monthly CRT low. Eventually, once you purchase the monthly CRT low, they eventually target the monthly CRT high, right? Eventually make a big range, because as I said, the monthly time frame needs to, because the next quarter needs to create a big range. In order for it to create a big range, it needs to soup out liquidity, right? Eventually make a big range. So you need to do some sort of a reversal on this monthly candle, eventually expand, then reverse on the fourth quarter after having SMT with its high, or it's highly likely going to be purged. It's not going to be like SMT, but it's highly likely, eventually once the high gets met, new high of the new eventually when the quarter 4 makes the high of the year, then we're looking for reversals, right? That's what happens, right? So on the weekly time frame, same thing, right? The weekly time frame of CRT is relatively still the candle, right? The CRT already got met. So CRT is relatively still this candle. Now we have, keep in mind, we have multiple CRTs here. This one, okay, I gotta see which CRT got respected. Because on DXY, one of them got respected, while the other one did not. Okay. All right, let me see. CRT, this high got broken through. This low, that one has been broken through. Okay, our only CRT high we have here, while on DXY we have another one. So on DXY, because look, this looks like it's not gonna go all the way down here, right? So on DXY, we will have some sort of SMT. Now I'm only looking for a monthly SMT divergence, right? If it's not a monthly SMT, then I'm not looking for it to get respected. I'm looking for it to get broken through until we have a monthly SMT. So once we have a SMT with this, monthly CRT low, cool, I'm gonna get out. These are pushes it out, right? If it doesn't have monthly SMT, it's gonna hold. If he has a weekly, it's gonna hold until the target gets met, etc., because the monthly time frame is what the monthly time frame SMT is what is important, right? SMT happens every single second, and the highest probably SMT usually happens on the monthly, right? Now on the weekly time frame, that's our only CRT we have is this here. This our first target is down here only. Why? And not down on this other weekly CRT, although it did get respected also. Keep in mind, we're not an expansion candle, so we can't anticipate the market to go down here. We can anticipate to go down here in the longer term if the market wants to go down there, but you have to show us signs right before doing so. We're not in a AMD on the monthly time frame. On the daily time frame, we have a daily pullback. We also have a daily CRT. So as you guys know, we're looking for daily levels and above. We have a daily fair value gap. We purged out in high here. We did purge out. Let me see. This one we purged out the low on DXY. Now we just purged out the high, stable low, stable high. At the premium again, which is down one down lower. Okay, so this wouldn't make sense to retrace all down over here. Yeah, there is no daily range because this specific high was already used as a daily range. So we have no soups here. So look at these one more time. We have no soups, so we're relatively just looking for one to get soup. Then we can look for some sort of daily range. But right now we're not looking for any daily range. We're looking for just for a we're looking for a kiss of that, right? Daily level, daily series downside, we're looking for a pop above old high on a daily time frame or dump on the old low on a daily time frame. Eventually we're looking to buy it up and sell it down. So that's what we're looking for our daily time frame. So next week candle, it can open up, push out the high, fill the fair value gap in, do some sort of manipulation. On Tuesday could start expanding to the downside. Wednesday could meet our target. Friday should definitely meet our target because Friday is the NFP day, which will usually target the higher time frame. And keep in mind, I only respect the monthly SMT divergences, right? And this is the last lesson of the weekly market recap because this time we had SMT with the weekly CRT low. Right? We had SMT with its two highs, its two lows. So this two low, eventually did not work out. Why? Because it was not a monthly SMT. And usually I've seen so many weekly CRT SMTs. Every time I see a weekly SMT or daily SMT, all I see is just a pullback and goes down lower, right? Pullback, accumulate, manipulate, boom. And eventually expand it, the SMT wouldn't hold. But once it's a monthly SMT, that shit will definitely fucking hold, right? That monthly SMT on DXY and EU fucking hold is so bad, right? Now I mean the monthly CT low, eventually just reversed. So that's why we care about the monthly rather than the weekly. Weekly time frame, if the weekly time frame SMT and the daily time frame SMT, we're just looking for pullbacks. Eventually, okay, this SMT can cause a pullback. We could sell it off later after we get an OTE. Now, the monthly, get the fuck up, right? So, yeah, because our CRT targets become inevitable until the monthly time frame and above. Because the monthly time frame and above is where smart money is actually not fucking around, right? They're not fucking around. They're not manipulating the market too much. That's when the market moves the most, right? That's where they control the market the most. And those SMTs on those higher time, because higher time frame, higher power, those time frame, those higher time frames matters much more than the lower time frame. Now that's all I'm looking for on EU and DXY. I hope you guys enjoy it. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, share. I should have definitely said this in the earlier of the video, but make sure you guys join the Telegram, link in the description down below. Now, next time I'll make sure to say these phrases early in the video or the start of the video, because I've been testing it out. Every time I say at the end of the video, nobody fucking joins. At the start of the video, people join faster. So next time, my goal from now on forward is to always say at the start, like near the start, and at the end. Right? So yeah, see you guys, sell Telegram, and yeah, bye-bye.